And number 3, Fred Chang. The starting lineup for Skyline: at guard, number 4, Greg Anderson. At guard, number 22, Scott Slaymaker. At center, number 23, Danny Brain. At forward, number 30, Rob Anderson. And at forward, number 11, Rod Schmidt. The assistant coaches for Skyline are Ron Huber and John Copier. The head coach, Neil Roberts. Now the squad members for West. Number 22, Brent Grimm. Number 44, Calvin Johnson. Number 43, Jim Johnson. Number 12, Tom Kent. Number 15, Byron Johnson. Number 20, Owen Smoot. Number 14, Stan Layton. Number 32, Burke McConkie. Number 11, Ruben Soto. Number 23, Mark Stanley. Starting tonight for West, at guard, number 10, Scott Runia. At guard, number 21, Steve Marshall. At center, number 25, Spencer Christensen. At forward, number 24, Dave Nickelsen. At forward, number 40, Perry Bradford. The assistant coaches for West, Alan Nakagama and Ed Thomas. The head coach, Clark Godfrey. And we'll have the opening tip in just 1 minute.
We've got something new going on at Utah Video Sound. It's Utah's first, finest, and most complete stereo supermarket. In the quad room, we have the very best stereo and quad systems at the lowest possible prices. Latest compacts, stereo equipment, and televisions, all in one sound store. Here's our announcer with this week's specials.
A 12-inch television, a home component system, and a car stereo with speakers at Utah Video Sound, 4338 South State.
That the mentally retarded love to achieve and can, some of us are a little slow to understand. To help your loved one achieve his or her real potential, call the Division of Family Services in your area. Trained help in your home is available. Invite us in. We're asking to help. A division of the Department of Social Services.
Welcome back to the Special Events Center and tonight's 4A State High School basketball game. And of course, the officials at center court right now are
Art Mendini and Doug Kuhl. Art with his back to you and Doug over in front of the story too.
Okay, it'll be Spencer Christensen, who actually is listed at 6'10", and the program is 6'11", jumping against a sophomore, Danny Brain, 6'6" and 3/4. Skyline in the dark uniform. The opening tip goes to West High School, and we have a foul right off the bat. The foul is on Scott Slaymaker, number 22, a 6'3" senior.
Slaymaker got in foul trouble that basketball game last night. Surprised he stayed in it all the way. He had 4 at halftime.
And a common foul, a non-shooting foul, taken out of bounds. With the ball right now is Bradford. Bradford to Runia. Runia into the corner to Marshall. Marshall, an all-state quarterback, to Runia. Runia's a good outside shooter as well. Skyline, the man-to-man, to Bradford. Marshall with the ball. He's free momentarily, doesn't take it. Bradford, number 40. There's Marshall, 21. Little one-on-one right now. They cleared a side for him. Back outside to Runia. Runia is just a junior. Bradford on a great reverse, gets free inside to Christensen. And the rebound goes to number 30, Rob Anderson of Skyline. Slaymaker will bring it across the timeline. Scott Slaymaker. Anderson back to Slaymaker, 20-footer, and he is fouled in the active shooting fouled by number 10, Scott Runia.
And Runia got him down below. He didn't get up into the ball at all. He got him down around the belt line.
And we have Slaymaker at the line. This young man has only missed 4 foul shots all season long, and he had a string going at one time, 36 for 36. He shoots 94% from the foul line.
He is one of the really fine shooters in the state. He's a good shooter from outside, and I've seen him drive in this tournament and drive very well.
And West High School has the lead, 2-0. Or check it, Skyline has the lead, 2-0, and West High School has the ball. Bradford to Runia. Runia from 20. And the rebound to Greg Anderson. Greg Anderson, the younger brother of Belmont Anderson, a former All-Stater at Skyline High School and a star of BYU. Inside to Danny Brains, a sophomore. Off of the glass.
And that's what you're going to see Danny Brains trying to do. Just simply outmaneuver the bigger Spencer Christensen, and Brains can do it. He's very quick.
And Skyline leads 4-0. Bradford to Marshall. Marshall with his left thigh take. 20-footer by Runia. And there's the first 2 for West High School.
That should knock the lid off and loosen the Panthers up a little bit. They've looked a little tense on offense to this point.
Runia, I said, is just a junior, is still considered the best guard in the state. That's Greg Anderson hitting his first 2, and Anderson with a 9-point average has got 2 points.
Anderson has not started that many games in this tournament. He's filling in for Jeff Burton.
And it's 6-2. And Bradford hits his first 2, and it's 6-4. A 2-point lead for the Skyline Eagles. Skyline with the ball. Number 11 is Schmidt. Schmidt had 27 the last game. Missed his first shot. And the rebound goes to Nickelsen. Gives it to Marshall to Runia. Marshall again with the ball. Skyline in a man-to-man. They'll go into a zone only when they're ahead or on out-of-bounds plays or after a baseline play that has an out-of-bounds. Runia gets a nice pick. Kicks it off. And the rebound, Danny Brains. You know that Brains is averaging 23 boards a game in tournament play. They have an offensive foul.
Greg Anderson ran right over the top of Steve Marshall. Of course, Marshall, being an all-state football player, may be used to that kind of contact. Shouldn't bother him.
Okay, Marshall taking the ball out of bounds right in front of our broadcast area. Into Runia. It's 6-4. Skyline with a 2-point lead. Widest margin has been 4. Runia with the ball. All alone, Bradford. And the rebound, Greg Anderson. That's his second of the tournament. Anderson to Slaymaker, 18-footer. Rebound goes to number 23, Dave Nickelsen of West High School, to Marshall to Runia. Back to Marshall. To Runia, 20-footer. Scott Runia's got 4, and the ball game is tied up for the first time at 6-all.
So far, it's a long artillery duel. They're cranking them up from outside. Brains got the only bucket inside.
A steal by West High School off of the high post, and it's Runia trying to beat Slaymaker. He holds up. And coming out with a rebound is Marshall. Gives it off to Bradford. Bradford drives, has an easy finger roll. He's got 4, and the first lead for the West High Panthers.
And he got a good jump that time on Slaymaker defensively. Whipped right around him.
Slaymaker's shot is not good, and a foul on the rebound goes to number 23, Mark Stanley.
He's in the ball game replacing Spencer Christensen at center. I think Coach Clark Godfrey saw Brains make that one move and beat Spencer easily, and he decided to get a quicker man in.
I'm glad you noticed that. It happened after a shot. In for Skyline at their own baseline. Anderson back outside to Slaymaker. Down low is Brains, and working high is Rob Anderson to Brains. Gives it to Greg Anderson, and Greg Anderson has got 4, and the ball game is tied at 8-all.
Jumper off a classic split off the post. Vadel would have liked that.
Bradford to Runia. Runia, and the rebound goes to Brains. We mentioned he's averaging 23 boards a game in tournament play. Number 30, Rob Anderson, gets his first 2, and it's a 10-8 ball game. Skyline leading by 2. West has not led as yet. Runia from 21. And Brains with his 3rd rebound. Into forecourt to Schmidt. Back to Brains. And Brains driving is fouled by number 23, Mark Stanley, who came in for Spencer Christensen.
And again, I might point out that Stanley had foul problems last night also in West's semifinal win. Both he and the other forward, Dave Nickelsen, were in foul trouble most of the night, and he's there already.
That is the third team foul on West High. Anderson underneath too hard. He tried to hit Brains all alone, but he really bulleted it in there.
If he'd have caught hold of that and had taken him clear to the sideline with him, that really had some smoke on it.
Okay, Spencer Christensen is back in the lineup, the 6'11", replacing Mark Stanley, who is 6'4", working inside against Brains, who is 6'6"3/4. Marshall with the ball for the West High Panthers. Gave it to Bradford. He sets a pick for Runia. Christensen back outside to Bradford. He's all alone at 15. And a jump ball between the big 6'11", Spencer Christensen, and Rob Anderson, 6'3", for Skyline.
One of the problems that West has had throughout most of the season, they're not a particularly good outside shooting team, and that's the only thing Skyline's given them so far.
Spencer Christensen is the largest player in the state this year. And we have a foul on Greg Anderson trying to go for the tip ball. And that is number 2 on Anderson and number 3 on Skyline.
I should make a little amendment. They're not that good an outside shooting team without this man, Scott Runia.
Okay, you can see Skyline now in the zone from the out-of-bounds play at midcourt. If the out-of-bounds play were in backcourt, they would have gone to man-to-man. Bradford, Runia, 20. Outside
I
shooter.
just told you about, with the exception of him.
Scott Runia has 6 points in the ball game, leading scorer in the game right now, and it's tied again for the third time, and there's a steal by West High. And Nickelsen will hold it up. Gives it back to Bradford. Runia gives it right back to him again. And Bradford nails it. Bradford has 6. Bradford and Runia have all 12 of the West High points, and they lead by 2, and that has been their widest margin. 12-10. West leading. Greg Anderson giving it back outside to Rob Anderson, and there's a 3-second violation on Skyline. Danny Brains inside the lane.
Became a little bit of a spectator after the handoff, had a foot on the line.
Can you believe this number 23 in the dark, or the blue uniforms, is just a sophomore?
He has to be one of the finest prospects I've seen ever.
And Skyline's gone back into that zone with an out-of-bounds in backcourt. Bradford from outside again. 8 points for Perry Bradford. A 4-point lead for West High School.
Never fails. They make a liar out of you every time.
14-10. Danny Brains in the lane over Spencer. It's good, and he is fouled.
He's just got Spencer hanging back just enough because Spencer Christensen knows that Danny Brains a lot quicker than he is, a lot more mobile. He lays back a little bit. Brains gave him a little bit of a fake to get him back even further, and then went up, and Chris, trying to reach him, came into him.
Of course, last night, Spencer Christensen just hung back and let East High School come inside, and he blocked the shots.
Oh, he blocked a fistful or two last night. He had a super ball game against the Leopards.
This young man, a sophomore, 58% foul shooter. He's got 5 points in the ball game, and it's 14-13, a 1-point lead for West High School. Marshall trying to drive, checked off, goes to Bradford. He's been good from outside. There's Spencer Christensen, partially blocked by Brains. That's the first block shot of the ball game. Slaymaker coming down. Tried to get it inside, stolen away by Runia. West High. Bradford stopped by Brains. That's the second block of the ball game.
And you got to admit that's some kind of block. That young man really flew up there and drove that ball right back down to the floor.
And that is just a sophomore, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Brains. And I'll tell you right now, he's the first Utah high school ball player that I have ever seen who I think right now can consider a pro career. Greg Anderson with the ball. Anderson from 21. Rebound, tied up. Tied up between Rob Anderson at 6'3" and Spencer Christensen at 6'11".
And that's where this ball game's going to be won or lost, I think, Bill. It's going to be on the backboards. Whichever team can hold that position and keep the glass clean on their end of the floor.
Bradford, also a fine linebacker in football. Tip easily won by 6'11", Christensen. Marshall coming down. At 15, deep rebound goes to Slaymaker. Nice feed from Slaymaker to Rod Schmidt. And Skyline has the lead, 15-14. And what do we have in backcourt?
I'm not sure. We may have a violation of the end line. West stepping in when they threw the inbounds pass is what it looked like. And Skyline will get the ball out.
It was a violation of the inbounds pass. They stepped inside the baseline, so Skyline will have the ball. A 1-point lead, 31 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Comes into Bradford. And check it, Anderson. Bradford is the other side. Anderson has 4. And it's 17-14, a 3-point lead for Skyline. West is going to go for the final shot. There's 18 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Skyline and a man-to-man. Bradford double team. Back outside to Marshall. We have 6 seconds left to go. Runia from 20. Anderson gets the rebound. Craig Anderson, and there's the buzzer. That is the end of the first quarter of play. Skyline 17, West 14. In the blue and gold. The tip is controlled by Skyline that time. 6'6 3/4 Danny Brains against 6'11 Spencer Christensen. Greg Anderson likes to drive like brother Belmont. A steal or a turnover. Bradford to Runia. And Runia puts it away. He's got 8. Bradford has 8. And they are the only 2 players for West to score. 17-16. Skyline by 1. A drive by Slaymaker on a great assist and a foul.
Not only a great assist, a great shot as Slaymaker kept his body between the defender and the ball and left-handed that one right off the corner of the white square. Great shot.
The foul was on Christensen. I think he said Christensen, his second.
Yes, it was on Spencer Christensen.
That is only the 5th missed shot by Slaymaker, and Brains tipped it in.
No.
Check it. Anderson chipped it in. That's only the 5th foul shot he's missed this season. We mentioned he hit 36 for 36 in a row before he missed one. 21-16. A 5-point lead. The ball goes to Skyline. That's the widest margin for the Eagles, 5, 21-16. And we have a substitution coming in right now. Christensen is going out, and Stanley is coming back in to replace him. Stanley at 6'4", a senior. Christensen, we mentioned at 6'11", is a junior. Slaymaker to Bradford. Check it, I keep saying Bradford. It's Rob Anderson. They're both linebackers. A foul underneath.
Perry Bradford.
And the foul is going to be on Bradford. That's his first, and that is the bonus situation now for Skyline. At the line, number 11, Rod Schmidt.
2 big differences in this ball game so far, and that's the fact that Skyline has all 5 starters on the scoring book. And in addition to that, West is only getting 1 crack at the offensive board. They're getting 1 shot. Skyline has been able to put it up a couple of times.
This young man, number 11, you're looking at right now, Rod Schmidt, is a 4-point student, 6'3", a senior at Skyline. He hits them both. He's got 4 points, and it's 23-16, a 7-point lead for the Skyline Eagles. Both teams were co-champions of Region 3. They flipped a coin, and West won on the flip. Runia caught him napping. And a foul as Runia drives on number 11, Schmidt. That's his first.
I think Coach Clark Godfrey's up there looking for a goaltending call or a technical on Brains for either slapping the board or hitting the ball on the way down, one of the 2.
6'6 3/4, just a sophomore.
There you are. That's Clark Godfrey, and he's very vocal, and I heard one of the funniest lines of my life at the tournament last night. We get a point, I'll slip it in.
Okay.
Godfrey gets up and walks around all through the ball game. His assistant, Alan Nakagama, got up once last night. The official looked and saw Alan, told Clark to have him sit down, and of all people to turn and tell Alan to sit down, it was Clark Godfrey. Turned and said, Al, stay down.
Godfrey's a little bit emotional. Runia hits the first one. He's got 9, leading scorer on the floor. Rebound, Brains. Look at that body control. He started to pass while the man was guarded and stopped and did not drag the pivot foot. 23-17. Driving, traveling. Rob Anderson driving. Rob Anderson is a linebacker for Skyline. Perry Bradford, a linebacker for West. And now we have a substitution. Ruben Soto, number 11, is 5'9" and a senior. They're looking for a little bit more penetration, I think. They want a little bit quicker player in there.
Well, they've got to get inside with the basketball. They've got nothing off the front line so far.
Bradford tries to drive. Back outside to Runia, all alone at 20. 11 points for Scott Runia, leading scorer on the floor. And it's 23-19. The 7-point lead has now been cut to 4. Brains, high post. Drops it inside. Anderson.
3 seconds.
3-second violation. It doesn't matter whether you have the ball or whether you're in there waiting for the ball.
Well, you get inside. The only time you can stay in there is on defense, really. On the offensive end, unless the ball is being shot or tipped, that 3-second count goes on.
Okay, we have Anderson out of the ball game, and number 21, Carl Barton, a 6'3" junior, in for Skyline. Soto to Runia. Over to Bradford. He's left alone. Rebound finally picked up by Skyline, and it was Nickelsen that got it. So Runia fires it back again. And he tried to get it back, but it hit the baseline. It'll be Skyline's ball in backcourt. We're looking at some good guards.
You know, there are an awful lot of fine basketball players, and so many of them are underclassmen this year. It's just unreal.
A little bit of holding there on the part of Nickelsen. On Slaymaker, he tried to cut inside. He put a hand up. Greg Anderson with the ball. It's got Soto on it. To Barton. Barton's got the drive. Tried to hit Brains, and it went out of bounds. Off of Danny's hands. It'll be West High's ball. They trail by 4, 19-23. Ruben Soto with it, averaging 3 points a ball game. Both teams going primarily with 7 players. Bradford. Runia gets it right back. Godfrey wants him to get in a little bit closer than firing up the 20, 23-footers. There's a 16-footer. And the rebound goes to Barton. To Slaymaker. Slaymaker off the dribble, 18-footer. Brains with a rebound. Hook shot that will not fall. Greg Anderson throws it back outside.
3-second
violation again, the second on Skyline.
And that's a pretty good sign. They're staying inside on the offensive board for the most part. They got people in there.
We've been holding right here at 23-19, a 4-point lead for Skyline. 4:42 left to go until halftime. And a kick by Slaymaker. So West High will have the ball out of bounds.
And it's still just the 2 players that have scored for West, Scott Runia and Perry Bradford. They've got to get something going up front.
Runia has 11, leading scorer on the floor. Bradford has 8. Soto to Bradford, to the weak side, to Runia. He tries to drive, and Barton gets called with a foul. Carl Barton, his first, that is the 5th on Skyline. The bonus in effect now for the West High Panthers. 4 minutes, 32 seconds left to go until halftime. Scott Runia at the line with 11. Will be shooting 1 and 1. He's an 82% foul shooter.
You know, Bill, this year there's so many fine guards. We point out Scott Runia and Slaymaker here in this ball game, and there's got to be a couple of fistful of just really fine guards in the state. And a lot of them are juniors coming back to play in next year. 2 come right off one ball club, Kelly Gardner and Steve Finnegar of Provo.
13 points for Scott Runia, and it's 23-21, a 2-point ball game. The Eagles are leading. They haven't scored for quite some time, and travel is called on Greg Anderson. And now big Spencer Christensen coming back in the ball game, and time has been called by Skyline with the score, Skyline 23, West 21.
Timeout, Skyline.
State School Basketball Championship.
And that goes clear back to 1908 for West. It doesn't go quite that far for Skyline.
13 years since Skyline was a school. Whoever wins will be their first state basketball championship ever. Soto with the ball. Little contact inside. He tried to hit Spencer, and Brains came up with a steal to Anderson. Back outside from Schmidt to Slaymaker. Slaymaker quick off the dribble with his shot. Bradford with the ball. Gets it right back, 19-footer. Rebound to Barton. He'll give it to Greg Anderson. We mentioned his older brother, Belmont, played for Skyline, was an All-Stater, and also played for BYU. That time, Brain just simply beat Christensen in the lane, but he was picked up by Runia, I believe.
Mark Stanley and Scott Runia both came off the weak side, and Brains was forced to shoot it up over him. Missed the shot, and I think Carl Barton picked up the foul on a rebound.
That is number 2 on Barton. Bonus in effect will trade into the floor. You know, the first time they played this season was the first region game for either team, and West won it 57-48, a 9-point win. Then they played about midseason, and Skyline won 62-57.
Well, Coach Clark Godfrey has characterized his team at West as a team that plays just hard enough to win. Neil Roberts, on the other hand, we saw his ball club run up 91 points against a good Highland team the other night.
Well, I'll tell you, West High did have 106 points against Carbon in preseason play. That's 15 points now for Scott Runia, and the score is tied at 23-all. West has not scored in the last 5, or check it, Skyline has not scored in the last 5 minutes. And we have number 10 in the lineup, Jeff Burton. From outside, Anderson. West saves it from going out of bounds, and here comes Runia with a score tied. Runia from 20. 17 points for Scott Runia.
You can give him absolutely no daylight out there, and if you go out on top of him, he's going to drive it around you.
A 2-point lead for West now, 25-23. Skyline still has not scored. Anderson forcing one. Rebound falls in the hands of Schmidt, and he banks it in.
And it was Danny Brains, the sophomore center, that kept the ball alive so Schmidt could get that follow.
And a steal by Skyline. Schmidt. Marshall went down, and he's limping right now. A hook pass to Burton, to Anderson, to Schmidt. To Burton, Anderson. Inside, too hard, but Danny Brains comes up with it.
And he didn't make any doubts about where that ball was going. He just went up with both hands, laid it easy off the glass.
7 points for Brains, 27-25. The Eagles are leading. We have 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining until halftime. Marshall with the ball. Inside to 6'11". Gets his own rebound. And a one-handed hook rebound by Danny Brains. Outlet pass to Burton.
It's the first time in the ballgame West has had 2 shots.
Skyline has now thrown it away 3 times in a row.
That's the one problem that Neil Roberts has pointed out about his club, is their ability to handle the ball. He said 1 or 2 of his players tend to try to force it occasionally. A couple of others just aren't that good at ball handlers.
Bradford comes in, replacing Marshall. And the ball is stolen. Skyline gets possession. Here comes Burton. Jeff Burton gets his first 2, and it's a 4-point lead for Skyline. 29-25, a minute 29 to play. Soto to Runia. They're leaving Runia alone. 19 points for the young junior from West High School, and it's 29-27.
Oh, some shooting exhibition he's putting on, but it's still putting an awful lot of pressure on him to have to do that much scoring from outside.
Schmidt with the ball to Anderson. Anderson, an air ball, missed everything. West tried to save it, but right in the hands of Schmidt, and fortunately for West, he couldn't hold on to it.
That bounced right off Rod Schmidt's fingertips after a West player had bobbled it.
A minute 1 left in the first half. 29-27, Skyline leading by 2. Soto with the ball, number 11. Almost threw it away.
A little careless ball handling the last 2 times down by West. He normally handled it pretty well.
Bradford with a good change of direction dribble. De Soto tried to go inside. Brains knocked it away. Bradford from 12. Rebound, Runia. 21 points for Scott Runia, and the score is tied at 29-all. 28 seconds left. A steal by Soto.
Pretty. That was a thing of beauty. He got the ball, shook it loose, he came right around and took it.
And he is the first West High player besides Bradford and Runia to score. 31-29, West High leading. The cameraman is standing right in front of the scoreboard. Again, Skyline throws it away, and Greg Anderson has thrown away 3 passes by throwing too hard.
Watching him in the ball game the other night, he's a fine player, but he does tend to force.
Whoa!
I'll tell you, he's been something else.
Runia to Marshall. Skyline still in a man-for-man. A lob inside to Christensen, and he got backside help from Rob Anderson. We had Brains fronting him, and Rob Anderson comes up with a foul, his first.
Anderson eventually got to the ball, but he took a couple of hands with him to get to it. He was looking for a jump ball, but he got the arm on the way in.
Spencer Christensen has not scored as yet. He's averaging 13 points a game. He's a 60% foul shooter. He'll be shooting a pair, fouled in the act of shooting. He still hasn't scored. West High has hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7 now from the foul line. Oh, Schmidt just took that away from Stanley. Slaymaker, attempted steal, leaves Anderson alone for a long one, and Bradford has got the rebound.
Bradford couldn't quite control the dribble. They might have had a better break.
17-footer by Runia is soft. Look at that soft shot.
Great touch, just hung on the front rim and then slid over it.
25 points for Runia, 39-33. A 6-point lead again for the Panthers. Trying to go high post to Bradford, knocked out by West High School. It'll belong to Skyline. Throwing it in is Schmidt. It's a lob outside to Slaymaker. He's got a triple screen. Shot a little long. Rebound, Anderson blocked by Spencer. And the foul in between Spencer and Anderson, Stanley. And that is number 3 on Stanley, number 1 on West High the second half in the third quarter. And at the line now will be number 30, Rob Anderson. He'll be shooting a pair, fouled in the act of shooting. And number 10, Jeff Burton, just came in to replace Slaymaker.
And Slaymaker not having that good a night shooting for him. Now, for some people, what he's shooting from outside, 1 out of 4 or 5 is not that bad. But for him, it's a little ludicrous because he's a fine shooter. Dave Nickelsen comes in and Mark Stanley goes out. He's Stanley in foul trouble with 3.
Rob Anderson, a 62% foul shooter. He's got 7 points in the ball game. Good balanced scoring for Skyline. Brains with 7, 6 for Anderson, 8 for Schmidt, 7 for Rob Anderson, and Slaymaker with 4. He gets the second one. He's got 8 points, and it's 39-35, a 4-point lead for the Panthers. Marshall of West High to Bradford. To Runia from 20.
Look at that. Look at that ball hang. It's just like the air goes out of it when he shoots it up there. It just parks. 27 points for Runia. Is going to be an all-stater as a junior. Best guard in the state. Greg Anderson off the glass. Brains with a rebound. Tried to go back up. Couldn't control the ball. And there's a foul on Christensen. Now, if Spencer Christensen had not swung on through, he probably would not have gotten a foul. But he took a big swipe, and that long arm came right on down through and caught Danny Brains.
Brains will be at the line to shoot a pair. He's a 58% foul shooter, averaging 19 rebounds this season, averaging 23 a game in the tournament. Christensen is out, and Stanley is back in. Nope, they're not going to give him a foul in the act of shooting. They thought they were. There's the inbounds pass to Brains, and he missed it. A good inbounds play, it just didn't work. Bradford penetrates to 15. Rebound, Burton. 3-on-1. Gives it to Anderson. Greg Anderson.
Rod Schmidt.
Check it, I'm sorry.
Rod Schmidt. I'm sorry, Bill.
That's 10 points for Schmidt. Number 11, Rod Schmidt.
Those two look so much alike, it's unreal.
41-37, a 4-point lead for West High School. Nickelsen sets a screen for a drive by Bradford, and Bradford is fouled by Rob Anderson.
Now, they used to hit each other like that on a football field. Nobody said anything, but out here it's a foul.
Yeah, West High School went to the state championship game with East High School and lost the state championship in football. They played East High School in a semifinal game last night and knocked East High School out of the state basketball championship, and now the Panthers are here trying to earn their first state basketball championship. Anderson fouled Bradford, and Bradford picks him up. 44-37. A 7-point lead. Brains driving and is fouled by number 23, Mark Stanley. That is number 4 on Stanley.
And I'll tell you, Danny Brains just out-quicks people. He gets the good quick jump on you, And then when he goes full tilt to the glass. Fine player.
The widest margin for West High School right now, 7 points, 44-37. And we have Stanley going out and Burke McConkie coming in. And I believe this might be the first appearance this early in the game for Burke McConkie in the state tournament.
I think it's the first time he's been in a ball game in the state tournament.
Brains missed the first one. He's 1 for 2 from the foul line. 4 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
What a fine-looking player this young man is, and it's hard to believe he's just a sophomore.
He gets the second one off the back of the iron. He's got 8 points. Bradford double dribble. A turnover to Skyline.
Got the ball up high on a dribble and couldn't get it off his leg.
44-38, 6-point lead for the Panthers. Burton with the ball to Schmidt. Back outside to Slaymaker. Inside to Rob Anderson. Rob Anderson lost the ball. Runia on the end of a fast break. 29 points for Scott Runia. 46-38. An 8-point lead for West High School, their widest margin. And the ball is thrown away again by Skyline.
You almost got an assist on that play, Bill, just a little bit out of your reach.
The number 1 guard in the state, right in front of us, Scott Runia, inbounds to Marshall. Marshall to Bradford. Back outside to Runia. Skyline to man-to-man. Inside, back to Marshall, to McConkie, back to Marshall. Strength inside by Bradford, and he is fouled by number 10, Jeff Burton. His first, the 4th for Skyline, and that'll put Perry Bradford, who really muscled to get that shot up at the line.
Both of them were leaning on each other, and Bradford won the battle of the muscle that time. He got up and around with the shot, and Burton could do nothing about it.
Well, he hit 2 in a row. His first trip to the line, he misses his first one this time. 70% foul shooter, and Bradford is just a junior. 13 points for Perry Bradford. 47-38, a 9-point lead for West High School. Slaymaker inside to Brains. Brains just wheels, misses the shot, and he was fouled underneath. I believe by McConkie. Yep, it is on McConkie, and that is his first. That is only the third team foul for West High School, and that'll put Brains at the line to shoot a pair. He is 2 for 3 from the foul line.
You know, looking over the rosters of these two teams, Bill, a lot of these people are going to be back in state tournament next year. Skyline only has 3 seniors on the squad. 2 of them are starters, Schmidt and Slaymaker. West has 6 seniors on the squad, but only one of them plays that much, and that's Dave Nickelsen.
Second shot by Brains. Hits nothing but the bottom of the net. He's got 10 points. 47-40, a 7-point lead for the Panthers from West High School. And there's Runia, who has 29 points already in the ball game. Working the left wing right now as Marshall controls the ball. To Bradford. Inside to McConkie, just gives it back again. Behind the back dribble. All alone at 20. Brains has the rebound. And Brains is fouled by Marshall.
And Danny Brains, with his quickness for a fellow 6'7", simply drew the foul. Marshall tried to challenge him once and then tried to get away, and Brains got in front of him.
Well, that is the 5th team foul on West High School, and that'll put Brains at the line to shoot 1-and-1. The bonus in effect right now. He has hit 4 out of 5 from the foul line. He puts an arc on that foul shot, doesn't he?
He has really fine shooting action. You watch his fingertips. He comes off the ball. He's fine follow-through.
McConkie gets the rebound. Goes to Runia. 47-40 with 3:20, and Schmidt tries to draw the charge, and he gets the block instead.
You've got to have that position. Schmidt tried to jump into it and didn't get it.
And that should be, they've got 4 now, team fouls on Skyline. West High will have the ball out of bounds. Runia into Marshall. 3:17 left in the third period. A 7-point lead for West High School. 47-40. Bradford to Runia. 15 for Runia. Rebound, Brains. Did you see him just sky in the air, straight up? Slaymaker with the ball. Baseline to Rob Anderson. And rebound goes to Brains, finally knocked out by Runia, and Runia picks up his second foul of the game.
Runia trying to get the steal back off Danny Brains coming from behind. Didn't get him on the arm, but he caught him with the leg. And that's where the foul was called.
Okay, Brains now has hit 4 out of 6, and he'll be at the line again. Last time there, he missed the front end of a 1-and-1. The Eagles are down by 7, 47-40. 2 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the third period. Skyline trailed Highland by the entire game. Rebound goes to Brains. In the lane, off balance. Stanley with a rebound to Bradford. Soto. Ruben Soto, number 11 in the ball game right now, to Nickelsen. That's outside to Bradford. Runia wants to go a little one-on-one. Told everybody to clear out. They didn't. Soto has the ball. 7-point lead. Runia gets in the lane and is fouled.
Pretty drive by Scott Runia. He got the bucket. And it goes on Rob Anderson, number 30, who's trying to help out. He and Brains tried to collapse on Runia. But to show you the kind of concentration that young man has, he went right ahead, put the ball in the hole, and let him hit him.
He gave it that alley-oop shot when he got inside the lane. Just put a high arcing shot up. Rebound, Nickelsen, and the block by Brains, and a foul underneath on Schmidt. That is number 3 on Schmidt, number 7 on Skyline.
Right now, Skyline a little bit disorganized on both ends of the floor, and West trying to take advantage of it and stretch that lead out. They can move it out to 11 right now.
Dave Nickelsen, a 65% foul shooter at the line, number 24, has not scored as yet in the game, averaging 5 for the season. There's his first one. And it's a 10-point lead for West High School, 50-40.
One thing we failed to mention, Scott Runia, who's having such a fine night scoring, was on Slaymaker earlier in the game. Now West has gone zone, and Slaymaker has not scored that well.
We have contact as Runia got off his feet, and Burton pivoted under him and drew the foul from Scott Runia.
One of the fundamentals you all should learn. Don't leave your feet unless you know where you're going to come down.
And that'll put number 10, Jeff Burton, at the line. He'll be shooting 1-and-1. He's a 65% foul shooter. Marshall is in, and Runia is going out. He has 3 personal fouls.
3 personal fouls, and he goes to the bench with 31 points. Let's see what Skyline can do with Runia out of there to try and cut that lead from 11 on down.
West High has 51 total. He has all but 20 of them. Shot is good by Jeff Burton. He has 3 points in the ball game, and it's 51-41. 11-point lead was the widest margin for Skyline. Now they are for West. Now they have a 10. Now it's cut to 9. 51-42. And Greg Anderson coming in the lineup, and Schmidt is going out for Skyline. Marshall into Soto, gets it back again. Runia, the leading scorer for the Panthers, sitting out right now. Soto with the ball. They have a 9-point lead, 51-42, a minute 54 left to play in the third quarter.
Not unusual for West to hold on to that basketball for a long time at any stage of the basketball game. They've done it all through the tournament, and that's what they're doing right now.
Marshall into the corner to Nickelsen, back outside to Bradford. A steal by Burton. That's how he got his last 2 points.
A fine steal, anticipation of the pass, and breaking in front of the man.
6 points for Jeff Burton, and it's 51-44. A minute 15 left to play in the third period. Soto with the ball. Again, the stall by West High School. Their big scorer is out of the game, resting on the bench right now. His teammates are just working the ball around. Soto with it. Soto is 5'9", a senior. Inside to Bradford. He lost the ball out of bounds. Twice now in the freeze, they have turned the ball over.
And Bradford tried to go down through deep. He got there, but could not handle the pass.
51-44, West leading. Skyline with the ball. Anderson to Slaymaker. Back to Anderson. Burton. Slaymaker, 15-footer. Rebound Brains, and he is fouled from behind by McConkie.
You know, the one thing that really amazes me about Brains, he'll go up after a rebound, get hammered, not even know there are people around him, and then turn and say, oh, were you there? And that was the situation right there. McConkie coming up from behind, but Brains paid no attention to him. He just went up and got the ball.
Brains has hit 4 out of 7. He has missed 3. He hit 1, missed 1, hit 1, hit 3, and then missed 2. 1 and 1. 11 points for the young super sophomore, Danny Brains. He is the grandson of Coach Brains, who
coached at West.
Was coached when I was back in high school, too, and his father is Lou Brains, who played for Jordan 100 years ago. 51-46. The lead has been cut to 5. It was 11. Marshall. It was 11 before they went into the stall. They have lost 6 points in the stall. Runia's back in the lineup. He just slipped and fell. Otherwise, I might not have noticed till he shot. Marshall gives the ball to Runia. Quick to Bradford.
4 seconds. They got to get it up.
Bradford fires. Rebound, no good. And there is the buzzer that ends the third quarter of play with a score. West 51, Skyline 46. 3-point ball game. Marshall with the ball. Bradford now to Runia. And West High School calls timeout with a score. West 53, Skyline 50.
Neil Roberts claims he broke the indoor.
Okay, West High with the ball. It comes into Bradford. They have a 3-point lead. They led by 11. 6:05 remaining in the game. We're in the fourth and final period. Both teams in the bonus. Marshall with the ball for West High School. To Nickelsen. Or check it to Stanley. Inside to Spencer. And Spencer hits his first 2 points of the ball game.
And that's a big 2. West had to stay out on top.
55-50, a 5-point lead for the Panthers. Slaymaker from 20. He's got the range. 8 points now for Slaymaker, and 4 have been here in the fourth period. 55-52, a 3-point lead for the Panthers. They have the ball. Runia gets a screen from Christensen, and he is fouled by Burton.
Runia is very adept at rubbing his man off on a screen. A lot of time when you look at him and he's waving players around, he's trying to get him in position to screen for him so he can rub his man off and get a good shot.
Says you go here and you go there.
Right, he directs the traffic out there, takes charge for Coach Clark Godfrey, and on occasion, like the other night, told the coach to cool it when he almost got a technical.
32 points for Scott Runia, an 82% foul shooter. 56-52, a 4-point lead now for the Panthers. Rebound Brains. Outlet to Slaymaker. 56-52, a 4-point lead for West High. Anderson from 25.
Holy cow. Look out. The Eagles are starting to fly and bomb at the same time.
And time is called by West High School. Their margin has been cut to 2. They had 11-point lead. It's now 56-54. Skyline has averaged 67. Burton, they've got to score quickly. And a blocking foul on Runia, and that is 4.
Runia just didn't get there. He tried to jump out, but you've got to have that position established long before the man with the ball gets there. He did not. Now, with 3:12 to play, Scott Runia not going to be able to gamble, and Clark Godfrey wants timeout to tell him so.
Time has been called. 3:12, as Neil Hansey has reminded you, and the West High Panthers lead 62-54. They lead by 8 points. I didn't think they had an 8-point lead for West High School with 3:02 remaining.
West will go into a three-man stall right out here on top.
Nickelsen
one of them.
back outside to Marshall. Now Runia comes out and takes over. There's the weave.
Those three people, the other two will stay deep unless somebody gets trapped, then they'll break up high.
Skyline is going to have to foul to get the ball back. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in the game. They're down by 8.
There's the foul.
Playmaker picks up his second foul of the ball game. He made sure that it didn't look like an intentional foul.
Right, only he'll send Scott Runia to the line, and I don't know whether that's the man you want walking up there or not. He's having some kind of night with 34 points.
62-54. An 8-point lead for the West High Panthers, and Runia at the line with a 1-on-1 situation can make that 10. Rebound Brains. That was a smart foul. Outlet to Slaymaker. Underneath to Anderson, Rob Anderson. Off balance, and a good rebound position was Spencer Christensen.
You know, Skyline has not been able to get the ball inside here in the second half.
Runia to Marshall. Marshall to Bradford. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to play in the ball game. An 8-point lead for West High School.
Rob Anderson just looking for a chance to come out and double team and leave a man open low. West would like to pick that up and get the ball to him.
Rob Anderson just came out and double teamed. Runia hook pass to Christensen.
And that's what happened.
It's good, and he's fouled.
Anderson came out to help with a double team. Runia took it inside and found the big man low, and he gets the 2-and-1.
Spencer Christensen did not score in the ball game until here in the fourth quarter, and he has hit 6 points in the fourth quarter.
Make it 7.
Make it 7. 65-54, an 11-point lead, the widest margin of the game for West High School. A minute 43 to play. Skyline has to score quickly. Slaymaker scores quickly.
If Slaymaker knows he's got Runia on him, he's going to take that ball and go.
Full court press put on by Skyline. Runia handles it. Double team, but he gets it back to Marshall anyway. A minute 24 to play. 65-56, a 9-point lead. Runia to Bradford. Bradford double team. Runia to Christensen. He says he's hot.
There you go. They try to trap him out front again, and big fella cashes it in.
He has 9, all in the fourth quarter, and it's 67-56, an 11-point lead for the Panthers. And from behind, Slaymaker is fouled by Bradford. That is only the second personal foul on Bradford.
West High playing it extremely smart right now. Controlling the ball out front when they see the double team coming. Then the quick penetration and the kickoff pass to one of the corner men. And fortunately for West, big Spencer Christensen, the corner man, has been able to cash it in.
Slaymaker, 94% foul shooter. He's got 11.
He reminds me very much, or looks a great deal, like Mike Newland from the University of Utah.
His dad, Norm Slaymaker, played at South High School back when I went to South High.
100 years ago.
12 points for Slaymaker. And the ball belongs to West High. Full court press put on. 67-58, a 9-point lead. Comes into Marshall. Marshall, double team. He breaks it.
Good reverse on the dribble. It's funning away from two people.
Runia's got it. He's double teamed. To Bradford, and he carried the ball.
Ball got up on a high dribble, and that's a travel. And here comes another quick man coming in for West.
Ruben Soto is coming in.
They're looking for another ball handler. I think it'll be Mark Stanley going out. 46
seconds left to play in the game. 67-58, a 9-point lead for the Panthers. Not since 1908, when they started to play state championships, has West had one. They've never had one.
Who won the first one?
Lehigh.
The second one?
And there's Slaymaker again. 14 points from outside.
Same team won the second one, too. Lehigh won the second one, too.
67-60, a 7-point lead for West High. 30 seconds now left to play.
Contrary to popular opinion, I was not on the public address when that happened.
Nor was I going to high school at the time. Marshall to Soto. Back to Marshall.
Man open in the corner.
15 seconds. 14 seconds.
The Panthers have it wrapped.
12 seconds. 10, and there's the foul from Greg Anderson, a deliberate foul, a two-shot foul.
The Panthers have it wrapped. You look across the way, and Coach Godfrey hugging his principal, and it couldn't happen to a nicer young man than Godfrey. He's so intense that oftentimes he'll come here to the arena. You attempt to get a lineup from him, and you might as well go talk to a brick wall, because he just doesn't comprehend. But he and his players are all up right now, and they're going to celebrate.
Well, Bradford misses the first one. Godfrey is a very emotional guy.
Supremely intense, and his assistants over there.
Slaymaker off the dribble. Rebound, brains out of nowhere.
And it runs out. The Panthers win it.
That's it. West High School has won the 4A state basketball championship by a score of 68-62 over Skyline.
And two of the first people out there to congratulate Clark Godfrey are the football coaches from West, Gene Quagga and Bud Murray. And look at that. Happy game.
There's the state championship trophy being held aloft.
Cheerleaders and players are celebrating. West High got